Hey, welcome back to another stream, and in this one we're going to be focusing on the Lighthouse output of my website. So I've run a Lighthouse audit, and as you can see, well, the results look very good. However, there are some areas that we could improve. And also, I didn't want to do something super intensive today. I feel a bit tired, so I'm just gonna fix simple problems and yeah, let's get started with it. So, when you run the audit on my website, it currently gives you these errors. Well, the first one is serve images in next-gen formats. However, I cannot really do that because not all browsers support these formats. And for saving, well, that's quite a lot of savings, but not because like I want my website to not only work in Google Chrome, but I want it to work in Safari, Microsoft Edge, uh, and also, like, believe it or not, some people still use Internet Explorer 11 in this world. I so I've seen someone use Internet Explorer 11. That's how I know. But okay, whatever. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna ignore this one. Okay, let's keep reading the next ones. Ensure text remains visible during web font load. So I've read about this, and this is apparently, well, when you refresh a website, if it doesn't have your fonts, let me give you some more context. So in my website, I have some fonts in here, right? And these are, I host them in my website. The user, for like most people don't have this font installed on their laptops. So I bundle this into my website, and when someone comes to my website, they download this font. So, but until they download this font, they cannot display the text that I want to show with this font because, well, obviously they haven't downloaded it. Instead of waiting for my font to get downloaded, they could probably get a preview of this text without that font style, just using just using the default font for the browser. So the way that you do that is basically by using something called font display swap. So if you say font display swap in here, it will, so the text that's using this font, it will get displayed. It will basically display without the font that you specified in here, and as soon as the font gets downloaded, it will get swapped with the fonts. This will cause a flashing effect of some sorts. So when your website's loading and if the internet connection is super slow, they will get the version without the fonts first, and then they will get the version with the fonts, and it will just flash between. I can probably demonstrate to you how that's going to look. Let me fix this issue first. So I'm just going to add font display swap to all of my fonts in here. Okay. All right. So now that I've added all of these, I can probably start the website and refresh the page so you see exactly what the effect is. Okay, let's inspect. And let's switch to a very slow network connection. So take a look at my name in here. Take a look at this area. It's probably going to display with some other font and then get swapped immediately right after. At least that's what I hope happens. If it doesn't happen, we might need to build a production version of the website and use Firebase Serve. Because this is running a debug build, it bundles everything into something called, well, oh, actually it works. There you go. See? This is, did you see that? Okay, you probably did. You can just rewind the video and just go back and take a look if you haven't. So that's what font face swap does. And that applies to all of the fonts that I have. Good. So now that we've done it, let's finish that task. So we have 4 tasks, and I'm going to move this to done. All right, next one, serve static assets with something. Let's go back to the audits that I've done. It says serve static assets with efficient cache policy. and it applies to all of my static assets in here. So all of the things that get downloaded from my website when someone navigates in here, all of these images, I didn't configure a cache policy for them. And what happens is, after 1 hour, if the person revisits my website after 1 hour, after 1 hour has passed, they will download all of these images again. But there's no need. The user has already cached them. But if the cache like removal policy is like 1 hour, that means the cache is invalid after an hour. So that means my website will be changing constantly every hours. And after 1 hour passes, if someone comes to my website, they will have to re-download all the images basically. We don't want that. I change these images maybe once a month, right? Like this area hasn't gone, well, this area I've changed recently, this area I've changed recently, but this area, the bigger area, like the majority of the website, I don't change every hour. At least I don't change it every week. So I'm thinking about a cache policy of like maybe a month. That might, yeah, a month or maybe 2 weeks. Hopefully that will solve the problem. And the way that you do it is by using this. So you can basically copy and paste this to your Firebase config. So I'm using Firebase to host. If you're using something different to host, then you might need to check with their configuration and how they handle the situation. But I can just copy this and paste it under here. So what this specifies is it sends headers to the browser when someone sends requests to my website. It says all of these files are under cache control, and max age 604,800. This corresponds to about 7 days. I want well, about 2 weeks. Let's say, yeah, 2 weeks is a good time, right? I might make changes in the next 2 weeks, or maybe we can just use 1 month. I don't know. I could just multiply this with 2, and I will get 14 days. Okay. So hopefully that's that issue done. We're gonna do a deployment and then come back, and then we're gonna run the audit again just to see if these issues are resolved, but I'll just move this task done anyway. Okay. If you keep scrolling down, oh, we can minimize this now. If you keep scrolling down, one other thing that you see is it's under accessibility. In here we have links do not have a discernible name, and if you click this, it basically points to our footer. This is something that we could fix, but what's the first one in here that it's pointing to? Okay. Well, the first thing that we need to fix is apparently this one. I don't know where this comes from. It's probably, yeah, this is the arrow animation, right? Yes. Okay. We're gonna have to add labels for all of these things that that popped up recently. All right. So let's get started with adding ARIA labels to everything that we have. So that arrow is under arrow animation, and in here we have a link. This link. Can it take an ARIA? I'm not sure if this can take link something scrolls by animate scroll. Let's try giving it one. What was the property called again? ARIA labels? Something like that, right? Yeah, okay. Let's just try giving one. So let's say scroll down. Yeah, it's a scroll down prompt, right? Hopefully that will get rid of the issue. I don't know if it will help, but we can definitely go back and investigate on a later stream. I hope this fixes it. If not, then we'll figure something out. But that's what we have to do for the footer icons as well. I'm not sure where they are based in footer. So in footer we should have the signature. oh, there's the social media bar. And then there's the social media icon. And there's our link. Okay. So what we might need to do is we might need to add another property to all of these things with their ARIA labels. So we might need to do something like ARIA label in here, and then say this one's going to be Twitter, and then we have to add it to the JSON. It's a bit complicated, and is that how I want to do it? Let's think. Yeah, that's the option that makes the most sense, probably. How do we... Yes. Okay, what's social media links? Content. Where's the content? And I assume content comes from home. Yes. Okay, so let's start by adding ARIA label, well, what they're going to be called, directly to here. So Twitter ARIA label. We're just going to say Twitter. And we're going to apply the same thing to all of these things, basically. So Facebook. I'll actually do this and then paste the ARIA links later. Okay. Do LinkedIn. Do GitHub. Alright, let's copy this. And in here, we're going to say Facebook. LinkedIn profile, GitHub profile. I need to test my website with a screen reader sometime. Email. All right. Now that this is done, we can go back to social media footer. And we have to add all of those things to here as well. All right, so let's split this vertically. Let's close this down. So we do a verification in here, and then, okay, I'm noticing something very interesting. I'm gonna add it to my tech depths. Okay, so why does homepage have to know about the footer contents, right? Okay, I'll take a note of this. I might fix it. Okay, I've taken my notes, and that might be next stream. That might be the next stream's topic. Okay, but for now we can just add them there. and then we can worry about it later. So Twitter ARIA label. Oh, this is going to take a long time. What type string is required? I'll just add it here, 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 and here, and I'm going to replace this with email ARIA label Instagram ARIA label. I'm definitely gonna make a typo. I'm trying to be really careful. So GitHub Instagram email ARIA label, comma here. That's LinkedIn. Facebook, that's not necessary. And then we can probably just copy these and come back here. Oh, okay, maybe not. Okay, I'll still investigate why the homepage has to know about what the footer contents are. It might have to do with we use it somewhere else in, I don't know. The footer contents are probably used somewhere else than the footer. That might be one of the reasons, or I don't know. We'll take a look. It might also be used between the blog and the homepage together to retrieve some other content. We'll see. Okay, now that these things are here, I can go back to social. So this is the social media bar. This is the footer. So you're going to copy these, you're going to go back to the footer, you're going to replace this with that. And we're going to add another property in here. So class name, children, link, and ARIA label. Okay, that's done. And now we have to pass them the correct ones. ARIA label, social media links, dot Twitter, ARIA label. Okay, ARIA label. This is the Instagram one, and the last one is the email one, and not the link. Okay, done. And I think this will do the trick. Let's see if everything looks fine on our website again. Yeah, everything is fine, I guess. Oh, something might be wrong. Why is it taking so? Oh, okay, because we're on slow 3G. All right, let's refresh the page, and I just want to make sure that we got an ARIA label for this element now. Oh yeah, we do. Nice. Nice. So I'll move this to done as well. Okay, our last task. This is I'm only doing this last one just because someone that I know warned me about this, and we have to zoom in a lot to see this. Okay, this is super big, but if you scroll down, okay, maybe that's too big. Yeah, that should do the job. So take a look at these elements. They are overlapping with one another. So if I hover over this one and then come back to that one, as you can see, like, take a look at the spacing between them. There has to be some space between them. so that screen. So it's very difficult to explain, but screen readers sometimes will not work if elements are colliding with each other. Again, this is another accessibility change that we should make, and this element inside has margin top and bottom, right? We should put that margin top and bottom to the list item rather than the link. And so I think we need to modify the footer again. So the footer has these things, right? And I have to add, so it has footer dark text, but I also want to add margin top and bottom 0. So to do that, we have to basically append the style to here. Margin y equals 0. Well, that doesn't need to be inside curly brackets. Now I always open under. I do this on my every stream. Okay, whatever. Close down. So if you refresh the page, and now we managed to get rid of the margin top and bottom, and the elements are no longer overlapping, but I still want to increase the margins between them, so I'm just going to add some margins to these list items, a tiny bit of margin. So I'll go with margin y 1. That should be small enough and not very noticeable. Let's see how that looks. Oh, this is the real website. What am I doing? I should be editing on localhost, right? No one warned me. Okay. All right. Now, well, they are still overlapping, which I think we should. So this list item, so how does it look in the original one? If we zoom out, looks like that. If we zoom out in here, looks like that. Well, you could add some more margins to the bottom of this thing. So I'll go with margin bottom 2 for that one. Okay, now if you do, and they're not overlapping anymore. As you can see, the hitbox between them, they're not touching each other. So we've managed to do that task as well. Let me show you what it looks like on the older one. See, there the boxes are too close to each other and they're kind of overlapping. So take a look at this blue area, and then the next one. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you can see clearly. See those blue boundaries? They're kind of like touching each other. So if I put my mouse in there, the next one is going to be in that area as well. So what we needed to do was to separate them out just a tiny bit, so we don't have this issue anymore. Okay, that's all of the issues. Let's go through the changes, and then we're going to do a deployment. And then we're going to check if we managed to fix all of the issues. So we've added an ARIA label here. We've modified the cache policy. We've modified the footer, added ARIA labels. We've added ARIA labels in here and modified the margins. Again, we've used font display swaps so that we can have a fallback font while the intended fonts are loading in the background. And we've added ARIA labels here, social media icons. We've added ARIA label support in here. Okay, that's all of the changes. Let's do a run script build. In the meanwhile, I'll wear my bracelet. It started coming out. I think the lock is getting kind of loose. Maybe I need to get a new one. All right, and let's do a Firebase deploy. I've made a script, but I don't use it. Okay, I'm gonna use that script more often. I'll try to at least. Okay. And let's go to the website. Let's see if we manage to fix all of the Lighthouse issues. Okay, let's reset the zoom. All right, audits, generate report. And now we wait. The performance might be a bit lower because I'm using my internet to do a stream right now. But what we want to do is we don't want to see any errors. Actually, the performance was not that bad. Accessibility is now 100, good. I could take a look at this one. I don't know what it means yet, but I could definitely take a look. So serve static assets with an efficient cache policy. Yes, it's not an error anymore. Good job. Accessibility, we managed to get rid of the errors. I've taken a look at this one, but I wasn't able to solve it today, so I might just leave it for a later stream. But yeah, we managed to fix all the issues that we intended to fix. None of those are here anymore. Good job. And that marks the end of today's stream. I'm going to commit these changes, and we have so many other things to do. I'm getting ready for another blog post. I've recently published another blog post in here, iOS versus Android. If you haven't read it, you might, if you're interested in comparing iOS and Android, you should take a look. But anyway, yeah, I'm just going to think about what's next, and I'll come back with another stream very soon. All right, I will see you later. Bye.